Greetings people, today we are making shrimp lasagna. For this of course I am going to use shrimp. Here I have half a kilo of shrimp. If you can't get this from shrimp, of course you can also make it from prawns. Here in Peru they are. Shrimp is totally different from prawn. This shrimp would normally be from the river and the prawn is from the sea. What I am going to do is I am going to remove this from the meat. I am not going to throw this from the carcass. I am going to reserve it to make the sauce. All the flavor of this shrimp is in the shell part. Since this is in a relatively large size, I am going to make some small pieces. Since we are going to put filling in the lasagna, if I put it whole, it would be too big. I'm going to season this with salt, a touch of pepper. I'm going to reserve this for the moment and we're going to saute the carcass. I'm going to heat a small frying pan. I'm going to add a spoonful of margarine. You can also use butter, of course. Here I am going to add the shrimp carcass. This is already well washed previously. This will be sauteed over medium heat for about 30 seconds to a minute. I'm going to deglaze it with white wine. We add a touch of water, about half a cup, and I'm going to boil this here for 5 minutes. And here I am going to start preparing white sauce. I am going to add it in the same way. Butter, about a tablespoon and a half. The same amount, all-purpose flour. We are going to cook this for about a minute and a half, always stirring at a very low heat so that the butter does not burn and the flour does not burn either. After time here I am going to add approximately 3/4 of fresh milk, 3/4 of a glass or cup. The other thing I'm going to add is going to be heavy cream. Yes, just half a cup, a touch of grated nutmeg. If you don't get this here, of course you can replace it with pepper. Salt to taste, so that the white sauce does not form lumps. It is important to use it with the help of a whisk or balloon. This way it does not come out with any type of lumps. As it heats up, this will begin to thicken due to the flour we added at the beginning. And the shrimp carcass, we are going to take it to liquefy. And then we are going to strain it. Generally, always when we use the shrimp, what we use a lot is the carcass, and we make this type of broth where it has a lot of flavor. And this is how the pure gold of the shrimp is left. This essence has enough flavor which we are going to add to this white sauce. This would already become a white shrimp sauce. Is important if what I want to make the lasagna is to have a slightly thick texture. The truth is, if it doesn't bind, you are going to add a little more flour dissolved with milk so that it takes on this texture. I'm going to leave this texture at the end. When it cools down a little more, it will thicken the sauce a little more. I'm also going to add some vegetables to this lasagna so that it doesn't look too boring. This here is artichoke. It is already totally clean. And what I have to do is I'm going to cut it into small sheets, and here we are going to put it in the lasagna so that it doesn't look too rough. The other thing I'm going to add is also going to be mushrooms. Here I have approximately 250 grams this in the same way. I'm going to laminate thin. I'm going to take this artichoke thing to saute. approximately half a tablespoon of butter, and here we add the artichokes. A little bit of salt, pepper. We are going to cook this over medium heat for 2 to 3 minutes, always stirring, of course. Once the artichokes are half cooked, I'm going to add the mushrooms. This usually cooks very fast. It only needs a minute and a half. Around here I have a little bit of parsley. We are going to chop it as finely as possible. And we add it here in the sauce so that it also has scent. Turn off the heat and set it aside. Let it cool for at least 5 minutes. And on this side, I am going to saute the shrimps that we had seasoned at the beginning. I am going to saute them with butter for about 30 seconds to 40 seconds. This type of seafood cooks very fast. And I am going to add a little touch of wine so that it will cool down the body. And to assemble the lasagna, I am going to use this pasta. I am going to pre-cook it beforehand. Regarding pasta, it is important to stop cooking so that it does not continue cooking. And well, now we are going to start to assemble our lasagna. I am going to use this type of mold. As a base, I'm going to put a little bit of the sauce, white shrimp. And let's start with the first layer of the dough to make our lasagna. Here we're going to put the sauce again. Put our first layer. I am going to put the vegetables here, which would be the artichokes with the mushrooms. Here I am going to add a little touch of Parmesan cheese. We put another layer of the dough. Here we put another layer of the camel sauce. Bechamel, which would be shrimp. We will always try to spread it very well so that it is completely uniform. And we are going to add our shrimp that we had sauteed. I chopped them a little finer so that they are not too thick. And we put another layer of dough. More vegetables. Parmesan cheese. And here we are going to put the shrimps. And this would be the last layer of the dough. And we are going to add the sauce. I want this part of the last layer to be completely golden brown. I am going to add plenty of Parmesan cheese here. Because I had reserved a little touch of parsley, we add the top part of the sauce. And we are going to take this to bake here. I already had a preheated oven more or less. I heated it for about 10 minutes at about 180 degrees. The baking time for this lasagna is going to be between 30 to 35 minutes. I am going to keep it the same temperature, 180 degrees. Exactly, we gave it 35 minutes and that's how the lasagna looks like. It's important if we are going to let it cool for at least 10 minutes. Well, now let's move on to cutting, of course. Always before cutting, I will peel off the edges. Well people, now let's start trying shrimp lasagna. The smell of shrimp in any type of food is really incredible. Wow, it's just amazing, this shrimp flavor. What I also like is that it has the texture of the mushrooms and the artichokes. It is super creamy on the inside and on the top you can feel the crunchy touch of the Parmesan cheese. And I know that lasagna is a little bit laborious, but it is really worth it to prepare this shrimp dish. As always, friends, thank you for watching our video. I hope you liked the recipe and you know that anything you want to add, let me know below in the comments. Take care, and we'll see you in a few days with a new video. Bye.